renovated theater, the Dropper of Horrors. We have many delights in store for you, including our revolutionary 3D technology. Watching films is a thing of the past. Falling through them at a deathly breakneck speed, however, that is the future. Phil, all 3 acts are in the same hallway. Pick your act, then make your drop. Be careful, though. It's a long way down. Oh, dear.
Okay. Yes, we are playing Dropper of Horrors.
Hi. Do you want to play hide and seek?
No.
If you win, I'll give you a prize.
Let's go to the Halloween Forest.
Sometimes. They're awfully cozy. Am I here? Am I there? Come see.
Act 1.
Come find me, and we can play forever and ever.
The Howling Forest. When little Timmy and Ben asked their parents if they could go camping, they said no. "There's wolves out there, it's too dangerous," his mother said. "We'll take a trip somewhere else next summer." But little Timmy and Ben didn't listen, and they didn't want to wait. That night they climbed down the dark steps to the cellar and packed their camping kit. Sleeping bags, lights, snacks, and most importantly, marshmallows. They snuck out into the forest, going deeper and deeper into the woods until they found their spot. In between trees, shielded from the wind, a level ground, and no parents. Timmy and Ben quickly built a fire and got out their roasting sticks. The marshmallows softly sizzled over the embers of their fire, and their laughter rang out through the trees. Their parents would never find out, they giggled. Oh, but they did. Only 2 days later, when they found a ruined campsite.
Ooh. I'm so scared. Okay. Time to do this. Oh. 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 Boom. I made it. Ha! So we're playing Dropper of Horrors. I never played a Dropper before, so Act 1 is finished. This is Act 2. I'm glad this has the reading help thing, because I did not want to read that
Timmy and Ben
much.
had gorged themselves on candy and chocolate. Their tummies were bloated, and all they could do was lie on their backs. "I think I ate too many marshmallows," Ben said. "Me too," Timmy said. Ben clutched his belly. "I think I need to take a tinkle," and he wandered off into the woods. The first 10 minutes Ben was gone, Timmy wasn't worried. But after 30 minutes passed, Timmy was trembling in his shoes. Where was Ben? Why hadn't he come back? "Ben?" he called out, but there was no answer. The wind whistled between the gaps of the trees, and everything seemed sinister. But little Timmy was brave. Maybe Ben had just fallen asleep. Timmy stood up, took his light, and tried to track Ben's footsteps from the camp. First, they led to a tree, but then there were more tracks, and they weren't just footprints. A large, wide press, like a sledge, had been dragged across the forest floor. Ben must have found something big and dragged it somewhere. He was probably trying to hide it from Timmy. He always did annoying things like that. He never wanted to share. Timmy followed the tracks until they led to an old spelunking cave. The iron grates in front of the cave had rusted and bent. Loose cobwebs hung on the bars, fluttering gently as cold air flowed out of the cave. Timmy hated spiders, but this is where Ben went, so that is where he must go. Besides, little Timmy had a light, and little Timmy was brave.
Brave, huh? I have played the Roblox game. What was it? Oh, Secret Way Down. Anyways, I played Ben, the Roblox game, so I could always cheat. Ow. Eh. Anyways. Yeah, I never played a dropper map before, so this is like one of those new experience. No. Why am I dying so much? How did I die that quickly? Huh. I'm taking this way again. Tapu. I died. I played Fortnite yesterday, so with my best friend, so back to the top. Chapter 2 ended. Act 3 has been opened. The Halloween Forest, Act 3. Inside the cave, spiders scuttled away. Timmy's light crawling into small cracks. The larger one stood their ground, eyeing little Timmy as if to dare him to break their webs. I can't read, I'm sorry. I'm not good at reading English.
Inside the cave, spiders scuttled away from Timmy's light, crawling into small cracks. The larger ones stayed their ground, eyeing little Timmy as if to dare him to break their web. But he didn't. Timmy crept and squeezed past any gap that he could. Ben was down there somewhere. A bat squeaked and flew out of the cave as Timmy approached, and he yelled out in surprise. After he realized, Timmy laughed at his foolishness. It was just a bat, not scary at all. Just then, he heard soft footsteps approaching him from the other side of the cave. "Ben?" he called out, but no answer. "Ben, if that's you, stop it, it's not funny." The footsteps stopped. "Ben?" Little Timmy raised the light above his head, peering into the darkness, but he couldn't see anything. He walked further into the cave, every muscle tensing in his body, willing him to turn back. But little Timmy was brave. He wouldn't run from footsteps. Just then, Timmy saw a dark figure move in the shadows. "Ben?" he called out, but it wasn't Ben. The dark figure leapt at Timmy, and the last thing he saw was the dark yellow eyes and sharp white teeth of a shaggy grey wolf.
The end to that. I'm sorry if I can't read. I suck at reading. I'm surprised I passed high school and stuff. Oh, I have to go through the mouth. I supposed to get into the mouth? Oh, that's difficult. If only they had a easier way. Oh, they do. I'm taking the easy way down. There. What? There's more storybook?
2 days of rain followed little Timmy and Ben's camping trip, clearing away their tracks. But their parents still searched for them. A whole search party scoured the forest, but it was only on the second day that they found Timmy and Ben's campsite. The tents were torn and shredded. The food they hadn't eaten scattered across the floor, soggy marshmallows and sandwiches left by a fire that had long since fizzled out. They never found Timmy or Ben. The only thing left was Ben's coat, caught on the prickly branches of a pine tree.
I don't think that was scary to listen to. So there's pieces in there. I didn't know that. What's with the creepy noises? No. How am I dying? We're taking the easy way down just to be able to find what we're looking for. There's that, but there has to be another area, right? Yeah. Why did I fail? Is there another area? Because there's that. Maybe it's not over here. Unless there's only one in each one. Then that would make sense. Found one. Okay. The Forest of Halloween Forest is finished. Let's go to Night of the Missing Pet. Who loses a pet? Act 1. I don't understand how you can lose a pet. To get up there... I need to get up on the tree, though. Wow, so scary.
Night of the Missing Pet. Zombie loved his cat. He called her Emmy, and they went on all sorts of trips together. They went running by the river, climbing over rocks, and lazing under trees. But the most fun was when they terrorized the local villagers of Wheatburn. Emmy would lure the villagers around corners with her soft meow, where Zombie would be waiting to scare them. But now, those times were over. After their scare trips, Zombie would be tired, but Emmy was always still full of energy, so she would venture out into the wild on her own. Sometimes she wouldn't be back for days, but this time it was much longer. After a week, Zombie went out searching, and he found her by the riverside, bruised and broken. The villagers had taken their revenge on his cat, Emmy. Zombie was stricken with grief and hate. His friend, the mad scientist, tried to comfort him, but Zombie couldn't shake it. The villagers need to pay, but they would wait. First, Emmy needed to be buried. Zombie took her body to the local graveyard, where he began to dig hard and fast. He didn't look up until he was surrounded by the dirt walls of the grave. When it was deep enough, he climbed out to get Emmy, but she was missing. He looked everywhere, but he couldn't find her. The only person who knew he was burying her tonight was himself and his friend, the mad scientist. Zombie looked up at his friend's castle. The lights were on in the windows, the strange contraptions working their green smoke. Maybe the mad scientist wasn't his friend after all.
Yeah, don't trust some crazy person who's a scientist. You'll never get your friend Cat back. Not that way. How am I keep dying? Whoosh. Act 2. Night of the Missing Pet.
Zombie quickly ran up to the castle and burst through the door. "Mad scientist!" he yelled. "Where is my cat?" He raced through hallways of armored knights, shiny swords and crest shields, but he couldn't find the mad scientist's laboratory. Zombie would get lost in this castle before he found Emmy, but it didn't matter. He had to do it. He had to avenge her. He burst through door after door, pushing over armor stands and decorations through the castle. Destruction and rubble followed in Zombie's wake. He would level this castle to the ground if it meant finding Emmy. But he didn't have to. He turned a corner and saw the telltale green hue of his old friend's experiments. A tall iron door with metal grates stood in his way. "I'm coming, Emmy," Zombie said, and he pushed the door open.
Why would someone steal a cat? That's mean. I know how it feels losing a cat. I already lost 2 cats. One during November. Can I have that popcorn, please? And one this year. She was old and in pain, but I know the feeling of losing a cat. It hurts so much.
The mad scientist's laboratory was just as difficult to navigate as the castle. Bottles and jars of strange green liquids sat on shelves and desks. Otherworldly tendrils poked out of walls, and mechanical spiders with human heads skittered across the floor. Zombie would destroy all of it if Emmy was harmed. Every last bottle and tube, every table and chair. Zombie would even tear down the stone walls. And the mad scientist himself? He would rip him apart like paper, shred him to pieces. First, those villagers killed his cat, and now his only friend stole her from him? No, Zombie would not stand for this. He ran through the laboratory, knocking things over as he went, the mechanical whirs of the mad scientist's machines droning in the distance. No doubt he was already performing experiments on Emmy, experiments that he was going to stop. The droning became louder. Zombie was getting closer. He heard a laughter coming from behind a doorframe. He rushed to the door, and what he saw made his jaw drop. In the center of the room was Emmy, hooked up to a machine, alive and purring, a greenish tint to her fur.
No, don't bring back the dead. Seriously, people. Don't you know the high price for doing something like that? Oh. That's crazy. Who would do that? How did I die just like that? I'm not very good at droppers. I actually never played a dropper in my life, so... What? Yay! We did it. Where are we? Making sure there's the ghosts. Or not. There probably isn't one. Act 3 is completed. Popcorn, popcorn, read all about it. But yeah. I don't think the stories they're telling is creepy. Is this the last one? Oh. Okay. The Wicked Pumpkin. How can a pumpkin be wicked? Doesn't make sense. Little spiders. To tell you something, I do not like spiders. I don't like bugs or bees. It's creepy. Act 1. Shouts and screams chased the witch of Westwick back to her hut. In the forest, the locals had caught on she had been too careless flying on her broom, and now they knew she was a witch. Over her shoulder she could see the bright fires of torches there, light gleaming off the villagers' pitchforks and I think that's skeethus? I don't know. Hey Siri, what's SCYTHES?
Sides was tyrant or ruler of Zankal in Sicily. He was appointed to that post in about 494 BC by Hippocrates of Gela.